Let me take you back to where this all started. 3 months ago, I was standing in front of my bedroom mirror at 2 a.m. unable to sleep. My name is Alex and I've spent my entire life feeling like I was living in the wrong skin. Not just gender-wise, I mean truly, deeply uncomfortable with who I saw in the mirror every single day. I tried everything. Different hairstyles. New clothes. Working out at home. Nothing worked. The gyms near my house were always packed with people I knew. Colleagues, neighbors, old school friends. The thought of walking into any of them dressed as my authentic self made my stomach turn with anxiety. But then I discovered something. A gym. 20 miles away from my neighborhood. Far enough that nobody would recognize me. Modern enough to be progressive. And most importantly, they had just updated their membership policy to be explicitly LGBTQ+ friendly. I remember the exact moment I made the decision. It was a Thursday evening. I'd just gotten home from another soul-crushing day at work, pretending to be someone I wasn't. My roommate was out of town. The apartment was empty. Silent. I walked into my room and opened the closet, not the main closet but the small one I kept locked. Inside was my secret world. Dresses. Makeup. Wigs. Heels. Everything I'd collected over the years but never had the courage to wear outside these four walls. That night I did something different. I didn't just try on an outfit. I transformed completely. I took my time. Did my makeup carefully. Chose a simple but elegant outfit. Fitted jeans, a flowing blouse, a cardigan. Comfortable flats. I looked at myself in the mirror and for the first time in months I smiled. This is who I am, I whispered to my reflection. And I'm done hiding. The next 3 weeks were intense. I researched everything. How to walk more naturally. How to speak with a softer tone without sounding fake. How to do makeup that looked natural in daylight, not just in my dimly lit bedroom. I watched hundreds of YouTube tutorials. Practiced voice training exercises every morning in the shower. Bought better quality clothes that actually fit properly. Got my eyebrows professionally shaped. Subtle enough that nobody at work noticed, but it made a huge difference. The hardest part wasn't the physical transformation. It was the mental preparation. Every night I'd imagine walking into that gym. What would people say? Would they stare? Would someone call me out? Would the staff reject my membership application? But I also imagined the alternative. Continuing to live this half-life, forever hiding, forever pretending. And that scared me more than any judgment I might face. On a Monday morning, exactly 3 weeks after my decision, I called the gym. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone twice. Good morning, Fitness Haven, how can I help you? The voice on the other end was cheerful, unbothered. Hi, I'd like to inquire about membership options. My voice cracked slightly. I cleared my throat. Absolutely. We have several options. Would you like to come in for a tour? We can show you our facilities and discuss which membership works best for you. This was it. The point of no return. Yes, that would be great. When would be a good time? How about this Friday at 10 a.m.? Would that work for you? Friday. 3 days away. I could do this. Perfect. My name is Alexandria. I'd never said that name out loud to a stranger before. It felt surreal. Liberating. Terrifying. Great, Alexandria. We'll see you Friday at 10. Looking forward to meeting you. I hung up and immediately felt like I might throw up. But underneath the anxiety was something else. Excitement. Hope. Friday arrived like a storm. I barely slept Thursday night. By 6 a.m. I was already awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing through every possible scenario. I took the day off work, claiming I had a doctor's appointment. In a way, it wasn't a lie. This was about my health, my mental health, my emotional health, my entire sense of self. I started getting ready at 7 a.m., even though my appointment wasn't until 10. I wanted everything to be perfect. I showered, moisturized, and began the transformation carefully. Foundation. Concealer. A subtle contour. Natural-looking eyeshadow in soft browns and pinks. Mascara. A hint of blush. Nude lipstick with a touch of gloss. I'd practiced this look dozens of times, but today it had to be flawless. I chose my outfit carefully. Black leggings, a loose-fitting athletic top, a zip-up hoodie. Sneakers. Simple gold earrings. A ponytail wig that looked incredibly natural. The goal was to look like any other woman heading to the gym. Nothing flashy. Nothing that would draw attention. At 9:15 I looked at myself one final time in the mirror. I looked good. More importantly, I looked like me. The real me. The drive to the gym was the longest 20 miles of my life. I kept checking my makeup in the rearview mirror at every red light. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles were white. What if someone from work saw me? What if I ran into someone I knew? The gym was 20 miles away specifically to avoid this, but paranoia doesn't follow logic. I arrived at 9:50. 10 minutes early. I sat in the parking lot watching other people walk in and out. Women in yoga pants. Men in tank tops. Elderly couples in matching tracksuits. Everyone looked so comfortable, so confident. You belong here too, I told myself. You have every right to be here. At 9:58 I got out of the car. My legs felt like jelly. The walk from my car to the entrance felt like a mile. Every person who glanced in my direction made my heart skip a beat. But nobody stared. Nobody pointed. Nobody laughed. I was just another person walking into a gym. The gym was beautiful. Modern equipment. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Clean, spacious, welcoming. Soft music playing in the background. The smell of fresh citrus from their cleaning products. I approached the reception desk. A young woman, maybe mid-20s, with a bright smile and a name tag that read Jessica, looked up at me. Hi. You must be Alexandria? We spoke on the phone. She remembered my name. She remembered me. And she called me Alexandria without hesitation. Yes, that's me, I managed to say, my voice steadier than I expected. Awesome. Welcome. Let me grab Marcus, he's going to give you the tour and go over our membership options. Can I get you some water while you wait? This casual kindness almost broke me. I'd been so prepared for judgment, for questions, for awkwardness. Instead, I got basic human decency and it felt like a miracle. Marcus arrived within minutes. Tall, athletic, probably in his 30s. He had kind eyes and an easy smile. Alexandria. Hi. I'm Marcus. Welcome to Fitness Haven. Ready for the tour. We walked through the entire facility. The cardio section. The weight room. The group fitness studio. The locker rooms. He showed me to the women's locker room without hesitation, without question, without judgment. We have private changing rooms if you prefer more privacy, he mentioned casually. A lot of our members use them. They're right here. It was such a small thing, but it meant everything. He wasn't singling me out. He was just providing information. We talked about their classes. Yoga, Zumba, spin, strength training. He asked about my fitness goals, what I was hoping to achieve. We talked like two normal people discussing gym memberships. Because that's exactly what we were. After the tour, we sat down at his desk to discuss membership options. He pulled up the application on his computer. Okay, so I'll need some basic information. Full name. My throat went dry. This was the moment I'd been dreading. My legal name didn't match how I was presenting. My ID would show a different name. A different gender marker. My legal name is different from the name I use, I said quietly. Is that going to be a problem? Marcus looked at me for a moment and I braced myself for the worst. Then he smiled. No problem at all. What name would you like on your membership card? I almost cried right there. Alexandria. Alexandria Monroe. Perfect. That's what we'll use. I'll need your legal name for billing purposes only, but your membership card, your locker assignment, everything else will be under Alexandria. Does that work for you? I nodded, not trusting my voice. He was so casual about it, so matter of fact. Like this was the most normal thing in the world. Maybe for him it was. But for me it was everything. We went through the rest of the application. Emergency contact. Health conditions. Membership tier. Payment method. With each question I relaxed a little more. When we got to the gender marker on the form, Marcus paused. How would you like this marked? He turned the screen toward me, showing me the options. Male, female, non-binary, prefer not to say. My finger hovered over the screen. This was the first time anyone had ever asked me this question. Really asked, with genuine respect and care. I selected female. Marcus clicked save without comment, just a small nod. Alright, let me just get this approved by our manager real quick. It's just standard procedure for all new memberships. Give me just a minute. He walked away and my anxiety spiked again. What if the manager was different? What if they looked at my application and rejected it? What if this whole beautiful experience came crashing down? I watched Marcus through the glass window of the manager's office. They were talking, looking at a computer screen. The manager, a woman in her 40s with short gray hair, nodded several times. Then she looked up directly at me and smiled. My heart stopped. Marcus came back, that same easy smile on his face. All approved. Welcome to Fitness Haven, Alexandria. He handed me a membership card. There, in printed letters, was my chosen name, Alexandria Monroe. My photo that we'd just taken. My membership number. This little piece of plastic represented so much more than gym access. It was validation, recognition, acceptance. The first workout. You're all set to start today if you'd like, Marcus said. No pressure though. You can start whenever you're comfortable. I'd come this far. I wasn't going to back down now. I'd like to start today. 20 minutes later, I was changed into my workout clothes in the women's locker room, using one of those private changing stalls Marcus had mentioned. I'd brought a simple outfit, leggings, a sports bra with a loose tank top over it, fresh sneakers. I started with the treadmill. Something easy. Something where I could orient myself, watch how other people moved through the space. For the first 10 minutes I was hyper-aware of everything. Every person who walked past. Every glance in my direction. Every sound. But slowly something amazing happened. I realized. Nobody cared. Nobody was staring at me. Nobody was judging me. I was just another person at the gym trying to get healthier. A woman on the treadmill next to me caught my eye and smiled. First day. That obvious? I smiled back. Don't worry, we've all been there. You're doing great. Welcome. Such a simple interaction. But it meant the world. That was 3 months ago. Since then, I've been going to Fitness Haven 4 times a week. I've joined a yoga class. Started strength training. Made a few gym friends who know me only as Alexandria. Every time I walk through those doors I feel more confident. More comfortable in my own skin. More like the person I was always meant to be. The gym has become more than just a place to work out. It's become a safe space. A place where I can be authentically myself without fear or judgment. Where I'm not the crossdresser, or that trans person, or any label at all. I'm just Alex, or Alexandria. Someone working on being healthy and happy. This experience has changed more than just my fitness routine. It's given me courage in other areas of my life. I started dressing more authentically at home all the time, not just in secret. I came out to my roommate who was incredibly supportive. I've started the process of legally changing my name. I'm seeing a therapist who specializes in gender identity. I'm even considering starting to present as myself at work. That terrifies me, but 3 months ago walking into a gym terrified me too. And I did it. And it was okay. Better than okay. If you're reading this and you're struggling with your own identity, hiding parts of yourself, afraid to be authentic, I want you to know something. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to be comfortable. You deserve to be yourself, whoever that is. Will it be scary? Yes. Will everyone accept you? No. But will you finally be living as your true self? Absolutely. That gym membership was about so much more than fitness. It was about claiming my right to exist as I am. It was about refusing to hide anymore. It was about choosing authenticity over comfort. Today I'm sitting in the Fitness Haven cafe writing this story on my laptop. I'm wearing a simple sundress and sneakers. My hair is pulled back in a messy bun. I have no makeup on except for some tinted moisturizer and lip balm. Jessica from the front desk just waved at me. Marcus walked by and asked how my training was going. A woman from my yoga class stopped to chat about the new instructor. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not pretending. I'm not living a double life. I'm just living. Finally. And it all started with those 5 words at the reception desk. Welcome, Mississippi. Your membership is approved. Sometimes acceptance comes from the most unexpected places. Sometimes the courage to be yourself starts with a single step. Or in my case, a single gym membership. I don't know what comes next. There are still challenges ahead. Coming out more publicly. Possibly transitioning medically. Dealing with people who won't understand or accept me. But I do know this, I'm not going back. I've tasted freedom, authenticity, genuine self-expression. And nothing is worth giving that up. Every Friday morning I still get up early and go to Fitness Haven. It's become my ritual. My reminder that I'm brave enough to be myself. My proof that the world doesn't end when you stop pretending. If you're where I was 3 months ago, Scared, hiding, convinced that being yourself is impossible. I want you to know it's not. It's terrifying, yes. But it's also possible. And it's worth it. Find your fitness haven. Whatever that means for you. Find the place or the people or the community where you can be yourself. And then walk through that door. Your membership to authenticity is already approved. You just have to claim it.